Welcome to Cost Saver Conversations. I'm Angela, and I ask the practical questions so you can quickly understand what matters. Today, I'm joined by Assad.
Hi, Angela. We are unpacking UK train split ticketing, how to cut rail fares without falling into the traps today, and tying it back to the wider cost saver ecosystem, including tools like UK Train Split Ticket Calculator, so you can turn insights into action quickly.
Just a heads up before we dive in, we are your synthetic hosts. We are great with numbers, but as AI, we can sometimes be confidently wrong. Think of us as the digital versions of your most knowledgeable, slightly caffeinated friends.
Exactly. Treat this chat as a smart estimate only, not as professional financial guidance. Always check important details with official sources or a qualified expert before making any big decisions.
Welcome back to the Cost Saver Podcast. Okay, so today we're talking about something that, honestly, I feel like I should have known about this years ago, and I'm a bit embarrassed that I didn't. Train fares, specifically, how to pay less for them, legally.
Yeah, no, don't feel bad. Most people don't know about this. We're talking about split ticketing, and it's one of those quirks of how our rail network is set up. Basically, you buy several tickets for one journey and you end up paying less than if you just bought the one through ticket.
Wait, several tickets for the same journey? But you're on the same train the whole time?
Same train, same seat, you don't get off, you don't shuffle your bags around, nothing like that. You just hold more than one ticket.
That's bizarre. Why does that work?
So, okay, the UK Railway is run by this patchwork of train operating companies, right? TOCs. And each one sets its own fares for the bit of track it controls. So if you're doing, say, London to Edinburgh, you might be crossing through 3 or 4 different TOC territories in one go. And the through fare you see at the ticket window is basically this kind of simplified premium product slapped on top. But if you buy separate tickets for each leg, London to York, York to Newcastle, Newcastle to Edinburgh, those individual prices can add up to less than that single ticket.
That is wild. And it's definitely legal?
Completely. The National Rail Conditions of Travel explicitly allow it. But, and this is the bit that catches people out, the train you're on has to actually call at every station where your tickets change over, even if it stops for 30 seconds. If the train doesn't stop there, your ticket is invalid.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you've got a ticket that splits at Peterborough but your train runs non-stop from London to York, that's a problem. Inspectors can charge you the full anytime fare plus a penalty. And they do. I mean, that's where a lot of the horror stories come from.
Right, so you really have to check the timetable. Okay, so how much money are we actually talking about here? Like, is it worth the effort or is it a few quid here and there?
It varies massively. Some journeys, honestly, you save nothing, but others, you can practically halve the cost. So for example, London to Edinburgh, anytime return, that's about £180. Splitting at York or Newcastle can knock 50 to 70 off that.
50 to 70 quid off one ticket?
Off one ticket. London to Manchester off-peak, splitting at Stoke-on-Trent or Stafford, you're looking at 20 to 35% off. Bristol to Newcastle via Birmingham or Sheffield, 25 to 40% savings. So if you're sitting on a $180 anytime return and you don't even check, you're probably leaving $40 to $60 on the table.
That's a nice dinner out. That's not nothing.
Exactly.
Okay, but you mentioned traps earlier. What goes wrong apart from the must-stop thing?
Right, so there are a few. One that gets people is rail card restrictions. If you've got a 1625 rail card, there's a minimum fare rule before 10 a.m. on weekdays. And sometimes splitting drops each individual leg below that minimum, so the discount just can't be applied, which is annoying.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So the rail card could actually work against you in a split.
It can, yeah. And then there's the thing of just trusting the first split a website suggests. Different calculators find different splits. I'd always say compare 2 or 3 tools before you commit. And then the booking fees.
Oh, fees. Go on.
So some third-party sites charge £1 to £2 per ticket. If you're doing a 5-way split, That's potentially 10 pounds in fees just eating into your saving. A headline claim of, save 45 pounds can shrink to 30 or less once fees are deducted. You've got to look at the final price, not the headline number.
That's so sneaky. It's like budget airlines all over again.
Very similar energy, yeah. And another one, buying non-refundable advance tickets for every single leg. If your plans change, you lose the lot. It's often smarter to mix in one flexible ticket with the advances, so you've got at least some wiggle room.
I hadn't thought about it like that. So you're kind of hedging your bets.
Exactly. And, oh, this is one people forget. Oyster and contactless zones. If your split involves London terminals, sometimes it clashes with Oyster caps, and pay-as-you-go actually ends up cheaper than any split.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. So there's a lot of moving parts here. It's just one of those things where you really have to.
Do your homework. Yeah, but look, it sounds overwhelming when I list it all out, but once you've done it a couple of times, it's like 10 minutes, maybe less.
All right, so let's talk about hidden costs, because I feel like there are more lurking. What about cancellations and refunds?
Yeah, this is a big one. Anytime and off-peak tickets are usually refundable, but there's a 5 to 10 pound admin fee per ticket. Per ticket. So on a 6-ticket split, canceling could cost you up to 60 pounds in admin fees alone.
60 quid just to cancel? That's. Wow, okay.
Yeah, and advance tickets are non-refundable, though you can sometimes change them for a 10-pound fee plus whatever the fare difference is. So it's not nothing.
And what about delay repay? If the train's late, does that get messy with multiple tickets?
It can. You might need to submit separate claims to different operators for each leg, each with its own forms, its own timescales. It's not impossible, just more admin, you know?
And if one leg gets canceled and you miss, well, I guess you can't really miss a connection if you're staying on the same train, but what if the whole service is canceled?
Right, so technically your later tickets aren't valid because they were for a specific train. In practice, staff usually let you travel on the next service, but you might need to explain the situation. Most inspectors are used to seeing split tickets now, so it's usually fine, but it's worth knowing.
That's actually reassuring. Okay, so when should you just not bother with split ticketing?
Good question. Short journeys, under 30 miles or so, where fares are already pretty flat, you'll see little to no saving. Advance tickets booked 12 weeks or more ahead, those are often already rock bottom, so there's not much room to split. Season tickets for commuters will almost always beat any individual ticket combo. And, I mentioned this, if you're using a rail card near the minimum fare threshold, splitting can actually cancel out the discount entirely.
Right.
Oh, and group travel. Group save or family fares can sometimes beat a split for 2 or more passengers, so it's worth checking those too.
So it's really about long-distance cross-operator journeys. That's the sweet spot.
That's exactly the sweet spot, yeah. The bigger the journey, the more operators involved, the more likely you are to find a meaningful gap.
All right. So walk me through how to actually use one of these calculators properly, because I feel like there's a right way and a wrong way.
There is. So first thing, enter your exact travel time, not a rough estimate. Peak and off-peak boundaries can be minutes apart, and the fare difference is, it's significant. Specify your rail card if you've got one. Then, and this is crucial, check the suggested split stations and verify on National Rail inquiries that your actual train stops there. Don't just trust the calculator.
So the calculator doesn't check that for you?
Some do, some don't. It's always worth double-checking yourself. Then note the total ticket count. More tickets, more admin, more refund risk if things change. Read the fine print on whatever third-party site you're using about fees and charges, and then cross-reference with the direct operator site because sometimes you can book the exact same split tickets directly and skip the booking fee entirely.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Yeah, and save everything offline. Print your tickets or download them to your phone. You do not want to be standing at a barrier with no signal trying to pull up a confirmation email. Does that make sense?
Been there. Okay, can you give us a real example, like someone who actually did this and saved proper money?
Yeah, so there was a reader, Sarah from Reading. She was booking a family trip to Edinburgh, Friday afternoon out, back on Monday. The straight anytime return on the LNR site came out at 178 pounds per adult. She spent about 8 minutes running it through a split calculator.
And?
She got an off-peak ticket from Reading to London Paddington, a separate anytime return from King's Cross to York, and another anytime return from York to Edinburgh, all on the same book trains. Total per adult, 116 pounds. That's $62 saved per person.
62 pounds for 8 minutes of work? I mean, come on.
Right? And for 2 adults, that's $124. The kids were on a family and friends rail card, which layered on top and saved another $18. Same train, same seats, just 4 tickets instead of 1.
Okay, I'm genuinely annoyed at myself for not doing this sooner.
You're not alone, and we see similar patterns on other routes. London Euston to Manchester Piccadilly, off-peak return, direct might be $90. Splitting at Stoke-on-Trent often gets you down to $60 to $65. That's a $25 to $30 saving. King's Cross to Edinburgh, anytime day return, can hit $180 or more. Splits at York and Newcastle drop it to sort of $110 to $130.
So we're talking 20 to 50% off on long journeys, consistently.
When you do it right, yeah. Not every date, fares shift constantly, but the pattern holds. Long cross-operator journeys with sensible interchange points, that's where the money is.
Now, I know some listeners will be nervous about this. What if an inspector gives you grief?
If your tickets comply with the rules, you're fine. It's legitimate, it's widely used, staff see it every day. Just keep your tickets accessible, and if someone asks, explain calmly. You'll be fine.
Fair enough. And you definitely don't have to change trains, just to hammer that home.
You do not have to change trains. You change tickets, not carriages. You sit there, enjoy your coffee, and save some cash.
I love it. All right, Assad, let's wrap this up. Give us what are the absolute need-to-knows for someone trying this for the first time?
Okay, so split ticketing is completely legal. It's backed by the National Rail Conditions of Travel. It can save you 20 to 50% on long-distance journeys. But the must-stop rule is non-negotiable. Always verify your train actually calls at every split station. Watch out for booking fees on third-party sites. They can really eat into your savings. Compare a couple of different calculators. Don't just trust the first one. And treat any headline, "You'll save X number," with a bit of skepticism until you see the final total after all charges.
And if your plans might change?
Mix in at least one flexible ticket. Don't go all in on non-refundable advances for every leg. And remember that canceling a multi-ticket split can rack up admin fees fast, up to $60 on a 6-ticket booking.
Brilliant. Honestly, even just knowing that the option exists feels like a win. Thank you so much, Assad.
My pleasure, Angela. Honestly, even one successful split on a weekend trip home can pay for a decent lunch, and it really doesn't get harder with practice. Give it a go.
You heard the man. We'll put links to some calculators and tools in the show notes. Thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Quick side note, this guide connects with other cost-saver blogs, especially Hidden Costs Commuting Calculators Miss, Moving Cities in the UK and the Mistakes to Avoid, and README.
Exactly. And reading those together helps you connect the dots across your household budget, not just this one topic in isolation.
And if you want to apply this immediately, jump into tools like UK Train Split Ticket Calculator right after this episode.
Primary sources used here include National Rail Conditions of Travel and Money Saving Expert, so you can verify the data yourself and stay evidence-led.
That wraps this cost-saver conversation with Angela and Assad. If this helped, share it with someone who could put these ideas to work this week.
Your next step is simple. Try UK Train Split Ticket Calculator, then read Hidden Cost Commuting Calculators Miss and use them together to take action today.